everyone, we're the Motivators, and this is our final group project. So just a little bit about our volunteering experience. We volunteered at the Thurman Brisbane Center, which is a local homeless shelter in Fredericksburg. We volunteered every Thursday, and we just hung out with the kids and played outside on bikes and the playground, read books, and we just had a really awesome time. Oh, there we go.
Hello everybody, my name is Karina and I'm talking about a little bit of reflections about the shelter Brisbane Center. In my first part I'm talking about what impacted me at the beginning, something that it was very wild, I think, and my rest of the team know what I'm talking about. See the behavior of the kids. I was a teacher before and seeing the kids how they were the first day. It very impacted me. But I understand later that with a little bit with comprehension and trying to just making sure that they know that we are there for them to show respect, and to others they were understanding a little bit that we are there to support them. I'm gonna go to my next slide. And this one, I choose this view of this book because this is the book that I use with one of the kids that for my memories, that I still thinking about her, that she impacted me, and we start reading about this book, The Fancy Nancy. If some of them they know about it, it's just about a little girl that she lives in France and friends, and then we start imagination through reading and how do we need to behave when we are in certain places, or with colors, we smell flowers, we put our clothes on and things like that. So it really, I kept the attention of her, and I had the opportunity to teach her a little bit of how to behave a little bit too with the rest of the kids while the other ones were running around. So I really liked this part with thinking that for some of the kids that I saw in there, I was thinking, okay, well, it looks like they're still there. But for some that day I didn't see them again, I was thinking that maybe the life is much better for them than if they are not there. So I was just keeping a smile for wherever they go. And my last one, my highlights, matching the class with the volunteer, it shows me, besides to be organized and planned in order to have or meeting our goals, I was thinking that a lot of things that we have in the class, like the books, for example, I really like because we can use through our lives, we can use the examples that they were there, and making sure that how to deal with other people in different circumstances. And I think that there's good memories that we can turn it in positive things that we can help to others. And I also thinking that something that I like in there too, because I tried to at the beginning of this volunteer, I was trying to change a little things in the group and the volunteer, but with the short period of time that we have with sharing with those kids, was not enough time to do big changes. But I was saying that of course that she's gonna be now the next boss, you can say, the manager in there. I think that she can handle because she has more experience and she has longer time than us in there. But now with the class and all those things, the techniques that we've been using with examples and the with the self-assessments too, it helps a little bit to trick what is our strengths and weakness, and we can see what we can help with the rest of the class and with the rest of the projects that we have later.
Hi guys, I'm Sam, and so this is my part of my reflection. So just reflecting a little bit on the volunteer work we did. One of my favorite memories was when we got to go outside. So what Karina was saying, on that first day, it was so hectic. We were inside the Thurman Brisbane Center, and it was in a room that was just filled of things that maybe kids shouldn't have been getting into, and they were just running around, and we were like, what did we get ourselves into? But then the following weeks, we were able to go inside a much smaller room, but yet this still wasn't, ideal for the children. They weren't able to let loose and everything. So my favorite memory was when we were able to go outside, and so we were able to play with the kids, play with the bikes, draw on the pavement. Definitely I got to relearn some childhood games I thought I had forgotten, and I really like that we were able to just be there for the kids and show them that we did care and that we were there to spend some time with them. And yeah. And then in my next slide, so these are some of my class highlights. So what will contribute to my ongoing story? I definitely loved Overcoming Bias by Jana and Freeman. The best quote that I could get from there was building authentic relationships across differences. And I think just taking that, wherever we go, we're going to meet people that they're just so diverse, and there's going to be people with different personalities, different characteristics that you're just going to have to learn how to blend, and being aware of your biases before is really going to help me continuing on. I gave an example in my blog where at work sometimes I get a little frustrated if I'm on the phone with someone that I can't understand well, but if I'm more aware that, hey, they're trying their best and we're trying to communicate the best way we can and how I can help them, really will take me a long ways. And then I was more aware of my management style throughout the course and through our textbook, which noted that I was more participative and more consultative, and I think I was able to reflect that pretty well in our teamwork. And so yeah, and the just relationships we got to build as a group with all the group work, I thought that was really beneficial.
So I actually ran the program that we volunteered with, so I've been doing it for a couple of semesters, so I've kind of gotten to see it grow. And definitely the purpose of it, as far as like me and my co-leader and what we want out of it, is we want the kids to feel valued, and we want them to be able to have at least 2 hours a week where someone, like a responsible adult, is there and just wants to spend time with them and mentor them. Because they don't always get that one-on-one time, especially if they have a lot of siblings or if their parents work a lot, because it is a homeless shelter, so they have a lot of other things going on. So it's just really important that the kids feel valued, and I think that's the biggest connection that I made to what we learned in class with the volunteering, because we learned in a few of the books that we read about how important it is that you respect the people that you work with and that you make them feel valued and make the time to spend with them. You can go to the next slide. So my class highlights, definitely working with a group was a class highlight for me, because I feel like the only way to really learn management, you can't really learn it from a book, but you can learn it by working with other people. So definitely having to work with the same people for the whole semester kind of gave me that experience as if I was part of an organization or something, where I had to learn like everyone's personality types and how they work and how to work with them. And I think that's an important management skill. I think we turned out to be a pretty good group. We work pretty well together. And then also, I just think that it's really important to remember the whole thing about valuing people and respecting people, even despite differences.
So my volunteering reflection, I really enjoyed going to the center every week. It started to become something that I looked forward to. I really enjoyed having the opportunity to go hang out with the kids. And even though we were only there for 2 hours a week, I knew that they enjoyed it when we came. A lot of the times they remembered us when we would go back, because we were going back every week. They would recognize us and want to play with us, and it was just like a really reassuring and like nice feeling. And like I said, it was only 2 hours a week, but it gave me 2 hours that I didn't have to really worry about anything else, and I could just focus on what I was doing while I was there. And I really just loved riding the bikes around the pavement with them. It was, even though it's like such a small thing, I haven't ridden a bike in so long, so it was just like really fun to do. For my class highlights, this class served as a great reminder for doing things like working with a team and listening to others, especially in the work environment. The books Overcoming Bias and How to Win Friends and Influence People were my favorite readings from the semester. Overcoming Bias, I think, is just such an important book that everyone should have to read. I really learned a lot about some biases you have, privilege, and how I can kind of use my privilege to help others who aren't as privileged as I might be understand or How to Win Friends and Influence People, I really resonated with, because there's a lot of times where I think that people are only interested in things that have to do with them, and how to accommodate themselves. And so it served as like a good reminder that sometimes that's the case, but when you really want to like build relationships with people, it's okay to make it about them, because you know like that's how they're gonna work with you. And lastly, the group work that we had to do, I really enjoyed, even though in the beginning of the semester it was something that I was a little bit worried about, because it is an online class. I was worried we might not have time to meet or whatever, but I think throughout the semester we really made a conscious effort to meet regularly, and it ended up being like something that I look forward to every week, because I really enjoy hanging out with them, and doing work together, so it was not bad. And finally, we set some expectations and goals in the beginning of the semester, and we just want to reflect on them to see if we met them. I think for our goals, we had communication, meeting our deadlines, and managing time during our meetings, and I think we pretty much met all of those pretty well. We were great at communicating. We always met our deadlines, and we were really able to manage our time during the meetings, because sometimes we didn't have that much time to work with, so we were able to really get things done in a timely fashion.
It was not easy, but we make it possible since everybody has their own schedules with work, or they live at different parts of the campus, outside the campus. But pretty much we stick with what we say at the beginning, the commitment that we were gonna do on Thursdays. So we really think that we managed well in the end. It was hard. It were times also that things could happen here and there, but I think we know how to fix it. I think it's part of this class too, is how to fix whatever things it comes to us. So I think we handled it very well as a team, and I think it was good for all of us to do that.
I think we were very intentional about communicating with each other, like when something did come up, and also just making sure we were all on the same page as far as deadlines and everything.
Yeah, definitely. And like, even in our trustworthy and the other kind of traits, I know that I could depend on my team members for anything that maybe they were assigned to. If I couldn't pick something up, they could do it. So I think again, communication and just handling just internal conflicts that we've had, which is you're always gonna encounter in whatever group setting that you're in. I think we managed pretty well in doing that as well.
And that's all for our group. I hope that you guys can give us your feedback, and I hope that you guys like our slide.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
I really enjoyed volunteering with the children every week. We had a lot of fun and played so many games, and it was really nice being able to see how happy they were every time we would arrive at the center. I also learned so many important things in this class, but the ones that really stood out to me were Chapter 3 and Simon's next video. Chapter 3 was about diversity in the workplace. I think this was important because everyone has different backgrounds and cultures, so it's important to understand that some people may do things differently than you, and that doesn't mean that they're doing it wrong. I also think that Simon's next video is very important because it shows the importance of the meaning behind the products you create. As he said in the video, people don't buy what you do, they buy why you do it. I think people are more willing to spend more money from a company with good values rather than spend less money to buy a product from a company that just wants the revenue. Not only does this refer to creating and selling products, but it's also helpful in understanding the reason why you do things rather than what it is you're actually doing.